Thank you. Please take it away.
Thank you. All right, let me see. Share my screen here. All right, so good morning. Thank you for having me. I'm Nicole. I'm going to be talking about Alaska Works Partnership. We are a nonprofit and we offer free introductory training to help people get into the construction industry. Okay, so like I said, we're a nonprofit. We help people to get into the construction industry. So we offer training in all the trades: carpentry, framing, sheetrock and taping, electrical wiring. We also have telecommunications now. We have ironwork and welding, plumbing, sheet metal, HVAC, heavy equipment operating, construction craft laborers, everything that has to do with the construction industry. We have the introductory training to help people gain an understanding of what that job is and learn about the apprenticeship programs. We have 3 main training locations. Most of it is going to be here in Anchorage. We have a training center in Mountain View where we do all the carpentry related training. And then we partner with the apprenticeship programs for the other ones, like a welding or plumbing. We will have the training at their facility. We also have now a training center in the Mat-Su Valley in Wasilla, where we will do most of the carpentry related training, as well as telecommunications and electrical wiring. For now, we are always trying to expand and bring our training in more places. We also have a training center in Fairbanks at the Pipeline Training Center. We have our own building there and our shop. So we have 3 main training programs. We have the Construction Academy. This program is open to anyone 18 years or older, and the classes are co-ed. Sometimes we can put 16-year-olds in these classes, but we do give priority to those who are closer to 18 or just and ready to join the workforce. We also have the Helmets to Hard Hats program. Helmets to Hard Hats is actually a national network that helps veterans and transitioning service members get into the construction industry that have direct connections with the apprenticeship programs. Here in Alaska, we actually have specific training as well as just the networking part and connecting military folks with the apprenticeship programs. Of course, we also have the Women in the Trades, which just reaches out to women and encourages them to join the construction industry. These classes are female only. However, the curriculum is no different than all the other ones. The training is exactly the same. The only difference is that we only have women in this class. And right now we have power tools class for women here at the shop. We also have youth-specific training. I believe this started in collaboration with the ASD, but then we kind of took it from there. So during spring break, we always have some youth-specific training. We have power tools or carpentry. In Fairbanks, we also have a little forklift 2-day training, but this one during spring break just is for high school students only. That means that even those who are under 16, the only thing is that they are enrolled in a high school program, that being either homeschool or a charter or just part of the school districts. So 14-year-olds may apply for these ones. To apply,
Nicole,
yes.
I'm sorry, would you like to take questions right now that appear in the chat box, or would you like to
I
wait
did
for
not
the
see the
end?
chat box. I'm sorry. I should.
Oh, that's okay.
Let me open the chat. Okay. We do not have youth training in Juneau at this time. We are actually, Kay, I think I met you, where is it? At the Juneau Expo. So we're trying to expand a little bit more into the Southeast. So hopefully we will be able to have some sort of youth training in Juneau, maybe in partnership with the plumbers and pipe fitters there. Thank you. So to apply for training, you would just go online at alaskaworks.org and submit an application. For the youth training, it has a separate application on the youth tab. Everything else, including the health and safety and the CPR training, is on the same application form. You'll fill out the application. We are funded by the Department of Labor and federal grants, so we do require a little bit of information, that means that it will take, 10-15 minutes to fill out the application. We do require 2 forms of ID, either a driver's license or a state ID, and social security card or birth certificate or passport. So 2 forms. Then about 3 weeks before class is scheduled to start, we will start calling participants and applicants to participate in an interview process. This is not like a job interview, is not so strict, and we just really want to know about their goals and let them know how we can help them beyond just providing the training. For these classes, we're looking for people who are interested in joining the construction workforce. So we are not really looking for people who just want to fix their house, which we do get quite a few applicants like that. Like, oh, I want to learn how to fix my faucet. That's great. We're looking for you to be a plumber. So that's kind of what we're looking for and how we decide who gets to go in the class. Sometimes we have 20 applications for a class. Sometimes we have 120. Our classes are actually really small, up to 16 at the most in training. Some of them are 6 or less. So that's why we have that interview process. Then they will have to complete some requirements, which basically means more paperwork. And then we will let them know if they have been selected. We do send a lot of emails, a lot of text messages, and we call them. Sometimes lately we've noticed it's a little bit hard to keep in touch with people. So we're trying everything possible just to confirm with them time and time again that, they have been selected for class. After that, they will just show up to training. Usually our training is Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. We do tell them to come in a little bit early, especially for the first day, but anything else, we provide all the tools, we provide the materials, everything else they need. Once they're accepted, we also let them know where to go, what to wear, and stuff like that for a construction job, especially for the welding classes. You have to wear, closed-toe shoes and specific clothing, like work clothes, basically. So we let them know all that, and that's it. They just attend training and learn new skills. We are not looking for people who have experience specifically. We're looking for just people who are curious in the construction industry. So experience is absolutely not necessary. What I like to say is that if they can hold a hammer, we will teach them how to use it. So that's basically what we're looking for. This is our training schedule for right now. We do have quite a bit. We work in a fiscal year, so we have our full fiscal year training coming up until June of 2024. If the class is on the schedule and available, people are welcome to apply. We will not get in touch with them until 3 weeks before the class start, because sometimes I think I want to do residential wood framing on June 24th, but something might happen. It's like a few months away. So that's why we don't contact them until 3 weeks ahead. So they will know like, oh, I can make it or not. But like I said, we have a lot. Most of it is in Anchorage. We do have quite a few in Fairbanks, and the Matsu Valley Training Center is brand new to us. Actually, Monday was the first day that we do now residential wood framing at that training center. This is the addresses for them. Our training centers. The Matsu one is in Wasilla off of KGB. And then this one in Anchorage is in Mountain View. Like I said, the other one is at the Pipeline Training Center in Fairbanks. So our training actually can be used in many different construction trades. This is just an example of some of the construction trades. For example, our welding training can be applied to pretty much every single trade here. Carpenters training, our carpentry training is not just, we're not really building furniture, we're also building, framing and stuff like that. But basically we start with learning how to read a tape measure the correct way, not 13 and 3 lines. So we teach them how to read the tape measure, how to use power tools, how to use hand tools, how to measure, cut, and stuff like that. So even the carpentry training can be applied to a lot of different trades. Of course, electrical wiring, that will be most like in the electrician world. And then we also have the equipment operating training that can be, people can, go and work at the Home Depot for a while if they're not absolutely ready to go into the apprenticeship or something, but they will know how to use those machines there. So it can be applied, our training can be applied to pretty much anything that has to do with the construction world. Once they're done with training, we usually keep in touch with our participants, depending on what grant they're part of. Sometimes we call them once a month just to see what they're doing, where they're at. So we also do interview skills training especially for our apprenticeship partners whenever they have application deadlines. And after that, before the interview process, we will call our participants to ask them if they want interview skills workshop, which basically we sit down with them. We tell them what questions they're going to ask because we work so closely with our partners. So we know what questions are being asked and what's expected. So we kind of walk our participants through the interview process. We do mock interviews, we review their resume, everything like that. We also have health and safety trainings for additional certifications. This year, we have opened our CPR first aid AED training to everybody. Up until now, it was to prior students only, but now it's open to everybody who needs their certifications. We also have OSHA 10. We also have some forklift training. Those are for previous participants. And we do email them to let them know, hey, so there's an OSHA class coming up, and would you like to take it? All these certifications are necessary for when they go to work. So we just get them ready to go out into the workforce. We also write reference letters from instructors, especially we keep track of like top fives. So we write reference letters for them if they needed, whether for an apprenticeship or just when they apply for any job. And then we remind them of apprenticeship application deadlines, and we assist them with the application process, depending on the trade. The application deadline changes all the time, and the paperwork sometimes changes. So we kind of keep them updated with all of that. Everybody's talked about apprenticeship so far, but what is apprenticeship? Basically, it's a tuition-free program or a position in which an apprentice learns the trade working under a certified expert. In the construction industry, that's journeyman, but that's how it works pretty much in every trade, in every industry. It's an earn as you learn model. Experience is not required. You will learn everything on the job. However, if you have a little bit of experience, that definitely helps. When you apply, that's why we tell especially students, like if you've never worked in the construction industry at all, our classes will definitely help you with your application. For the apprenticeship, yes, there is an age requirement in the construction industry. They have to be 18 to be able to go to work. And I will share my slides. Yes. So like De La Rente, I think, talked about this morning, there's in order to be a registered apprenticeship, they have to do some classroom time. So there's a structured classroom learning and on-the-job training. People get paid for on-the-job training. Every hour of OJT gets paid. The classroom time does not. They don't get paid for their classroom time. Depending on the trade, it can be anywhere for 8, 6, or even 12 weeks for the first year for equipment operators. But the minimum is 144 hours of a classroom training. That classroom is not like a school classroom, is more like shop training. Depending on the trade, it can take anywhere from 2 to 5 years. The average is 4. This is based on OJT hours. Plumbers have 10,000 hours. Electricians, I believe, have 8,000 hours, and so on. So it depends on how many OJT hours they have to have. That's how fast they will finish the apprenticeship. Pay raises are given as they complete milestones. Usually it's about every 1,000 or 1,500 hours, they will get about a 10% increase in wages, but that depends on the trade and the work that they do. Once they finish their apprenticeship, then they're a journey level worker. And then from that, they can take more certifications with their apprenticeship programs and stuff like that, so they can be the boss on the job site. Skills that make a good apprentice. I like to say probably should put this time management and accountability first, because that's what they have to begin with. They have to be able to get their own time and be accountable, go where they're supposed to go and do what they're supposed to do. Math, of course, in the trades is math. A lot of students, when I tell them that, like, oh, I don't like math. Well, this is applied math. It makes sense. It's not like on the paper. It's a little bit more, it's easier and it makes more sense. And of course, coachability and team players, because they need to be able to work with their teammates and with their trades. And coachability, I also tell them, especially for students, that your journeyman is not your teacher. They don't have the same patience and the same education to learn how, like, to teach you the way a teacher does, right? So they're construction workers, so you need to be coachable and communicate clearly if they don't understand or stuff like that. So apprenticeship requirements, yes, they do have to be 18 or older. That is a federal requirement for being able to work with power tools. They have to have a high school diploma or GED. The laborers have now lifted this requirement, where they only require that they have a high school diploma before they can graduate from their apprenticeship, so they can work on that GED as they are in the apprenticeship. And they must have a driver's license. This is a must, because they need to be able to go to the job site and drive the company cars and stuff like that. Some apprenticeship also require an Alaska residency, work keys, transcripts, and that's where we come in and we make sure that our participants are aware of all these requirements and where to get documents. Starting wages for apprentices. We do not have driver's ed, unfortunately, and Noel, I think a lot of them, because there are people coming from rural areas without a DMV, will work with those people if they don't have their driver's license to, as they come to training, to maybe get their driver's license here while they're doing their classroom training and stuff like that. But as far as I'm aware, none of the apprenticeships have a driver's ed, and we kind of looked into it, but it's a whole process to actually become a driver's ed certified. So unfortunately, no. But yeah, so this is the starting wages for the apprenticeships. Right here, yes. So $26 as carpenter starting wages. Telecommunications now, it's a big hot topic. Inside telecom is $22 and outside telecom is $25 per hour. Plumbers start about 25 in Fairbanks, about $20 in Anchorage. You will see that sometimes wages differ from Fairbanks, Anchorage, or Juneau. But these are the starting wages. First day on a job after they complete their classroom training, which is 6 to 8 weeks, as you can see right here in this column. On top of that, these are union-sponsored apprenticeships, so they will also get benefits like pension, healthcare, vision, and dental benefits. I will share this slide with everybody so you know you have contact information from the apprenticeship programs, and you can see here how long it actually takes to finish the apprenticeship. Boilermakers are 6,000 hours. Since I'm a Boilermakers, they are based in Washington State. So Boilermakers and heat and frost insulators are in Washington State, but they will help people travel there and pay for lodging while they're there to do their apprenticeship training, and then they will get dispatched here in Alaska because they represent both Washington State and Alaska. But yeah, there are 6,000 hours. The longest is plumbers and pipe fitters, 10,000 hours, because they also do HVAC maintenance and install. So that's why it's one of their longer apprenticeships. Pile drivers is 500, 2,000. Laborers, right now there is a acute shortage of construction craft laborers. They're the ones that build all the roads and all of our infrastructure. And their apprenticeship is 5,100 hours, and their starting wage is $25.20. This is after they complete a couple of weeks of 3 to 5 weeks, 4 weeks of construction education I'm not exactly sure what they call it, but they have a training center in Fairbanks and one in Chugiak, and they actually also have a dorm there, so the apprentices can stay there. If they are further than 60 miles away from the training center, they can stay there for free while they do their training. For the Kenai and Soldatna trainings, yes, there is a construction academy there, and they do have some training. However, the job center there is your best contact person to ask questions. You can apply and see the training on our website, but that's all we do. We just kind of promote it. For any specific questions, the Kenai Peninsula Job Center, they're managing that program. Really quick, I do want to talk about our National Apprenticeship Week events. We just had one in Juneau. That was great. So thank you for being there, for those who participated. We're doing this again here for National Apprenticeship Week, which is November 13th to the 19th. So we are going to have an apprenticeship expo here in Tuesday, November 14th in Fairbanks, in Anchorage, and November 16th in Fairbanks. We are going to have hands-on activities. All the trades are going to be there, including AVTech, and they're going to be talking about their apprenticeship programs, how to apply, what to expect, everything in all the details. We have invited our local schools to participate, and we're coordinating with them. But last year we've had over 400 people here in Anchorage and over 150 in Fairbanks. So the events are growing, and we'd love for you to stop by and talk to apprenticeship programs individually. And I do see a questions here. Are there trainings available to people who are switching careers or late bloomers? We do not have a age limit up. So 16 plus. We do have, older individuals in our training. We do have people who are switching careers, especially from the military, who are just getting out and they're in their 40s and want to switch careers. The trainings are the same, and we do not have an up age limit, so anybody can apply. And this is our contact information. So questions?
Nicole, thank you so much. I do have one question. Could you tell us just a little more about rural apprenticeship outreach?
Yes. So rural apprenticeship outreach, we have a skills bank where people from rural areas can put in their information. So when we have when employers contact us and want to they say we have a big project in St. Mary, for example, we can go into this and see like who's from St. Mary and what sort of skills they have. And then we contact them and say, hey, there's a big project coming up. This is the employers, do you want to work for them? And then we try to facilitate that. We do also this year, not so much, but last year we had a grant from the Denali Commission. So we were able to help people come from rural areas into Anchorage or Fairbanks for training, which we're still working on that this year. Our funds are a little bit limited than last year, but we can still do that, especially for women in the trades training. We can pay for transportation and stuff like that if they qualify. They will still have to apply, and I tell them to put in the comments that they need help with transportation, and then their case manager will walk them through the process and see if they qualify and how that works.
Thank you. I am putting this, well, I shared your website address in the chat box, but this particular rural apprenticeship outreach, I just shared in the chat box as well. Do we have any other questions? If not, Nicole, thank you so much for your time today, sharing all these wonderful opportunities through Alaska Works Partnership.
Thank you.
And Nicole also shared her email address, and I'll work with Nicole to have the PowerPoint presentation available. Thank you so much.
Thank you.